Thank you, thank you, thank you. We get these warm welcomes, and they really go a long way in terms of waking us up, letting us know that you're there, letting us know that you're paying attention. I really appreciate that very much. All the more the better. Okay, so who am I? I'm Monty Henry, owner of DPL Surveillance Equipment. We're a full-service surveillance and security equipment company. We have lifetime guarantees and warranties on all the products. We have 24/7, 365 tech sales and customer support. We have the largest inventory of items that not only can you buy, but you can rent or layaway as well. Individuals use our rental program as a type of financing program. They start off renting and they end up purchasing, a lot of them. And we encourage you to do the same thing. So this is something that our customers initiated, and then we decided to make it a formal part of our rental program. So yeah, go ahead and try out our products before you buy them. We're the only company offering that. The other imitators and copycats will be looking at that in addition to everything else that we're doing. So it starts here at DPL Surveillance Equipment. Do the rent to own, do the try before you buy. And speaking of the rental program, make sure you understand that this is an ideal way to get law enforcement grade, state-of-the-art products in your hands so that you can play with them, see how they work, see what's going, see what the FBI agents and the private investigators use, law enforcement, military agencies use the same state-of-the-art products, okay? Because we're making them available to you and accessible to you by way of the rental program, in addition to the layaway program, which is a very innovative, creative financing solution we came up with for you consumers as well. Do your layaway for 1 month, 3 months, 6 months, 12 months. Thank you. I'm glad you guys are awake out there. Just want to make sure. So yeah, your layaway program or your layaway plan actually allows you to do the same thing with very little capital up front. Schedule your installment payments. Tell us how long you want to go, how far out you want to go. You want to go out into the future, 3, 6, 9, 12 months, even as little as 1 month. We have customers who pay $100 a week on something that's worth $300 or $400, and they pay it off within a month. Or some customers want to go out 6 or 12 months. It's up to you. Take advantage of that particular form of creative financing and get the item actually delivered to you upon the last installment. The last installment will include your shipping, and then we'll ship out the product to you. And check out our very large and growing video library. The video library actually is growing so rapidly that I can't even count the number of demonstration videos that we have now. We're letting you see us demonstrate the bug detectors, Nanny cameras, audio bugs, GPS trackers. Very, very extensive. We have little skits, what we call skits, where we act out a scenario where a customer is asking questions about products and explaining their particular issues to us, and we act that out. So it's like a FAQ, a live FAQ session or something, where you get a chance to actually see people ask questions and get answers from us. Thank you. It's another innovation that originated here at DPL Surveillance Equipment. And go to our articles directory. Very large and growing articles directory. I can't even count the number of articles anymore. We do blogging incessantly, and we do podcasts. And under the articles directory, there are tons of articles. Learn about GPS jammers and blockers. A lot of you are calling us every day talking about is it legal to get and use a jammer or a blocker for cell phones or for GPS trackers? And we go over the laws. We go over the actual case scenarios. I have actual hands-on experience. So this is not an academic treatise. This is actual personal experience using jammers and blockers. And then we talk about cell phone interception and spy phone prevention. Thank you. I really appreciate that you guys are paying attention, listening, and understanding that we're offering you an education. If you don't get anything, you'll get an education from us. So make sure you take advantage of that. All of that is free information, by the way. And if you have any use for any of the things that we mentioned, give us a call, 888-344-3742, 888-344-3742. Now, this particular session is the Economy Stupid, episode 11. No, serious. It's the Economy Stupid, episode 11. Okay, so anyway, now that you got that part, why are we doing the Economy Stupid? Because we want to let you guys know that when you're facing challenges in your personal life and your business and things seem to be all an uphill battle. You know, you can't get as much money for your dollar. You can't find employment the way you can't get the type of wages you want. Your customers aren't really causing the phone to ring off the hook. It's just certain big picture macro things that are going on in the economy, and we're here to decipher all of that. We're going to help you weed through the convoluted mess of central banking and quantitative easing and laws pertaining to payments and taxes and the big. We just take a look at the 30,000 foot level and we decipher this information for you. And that's our cat, Lazy Bones. I guess he wants to say hi. There he is. Go ahead, say hi. Okay. So he's trying to say hi to you guys. And he thinks it's time to eat, but I don't know if it's time to eat right now. But anyway, It's the Economy Stupid is designed to educate you guys and give you an idea of the big picture, 30,000 foot view of what's going on with the economy. And we're going to break it down right here. So first item on the list is all about the cashless society. It seems that we business owners, for instance, and even you consumers, you're getting more and more. You have the ability to do more and more cashless transactions. Okay, so when you go to your Starbucks and your Trader Joe's and do your gas, get your gas in your car, a lot of what we're doing, a major percentage of it, 80-90%, is cashless, meaning that you don't reach into your wallet, you don't pull out dollar bills, etc. You don't pull out currency anymore. You scan something, either with a you use your Apple Pay, you use your Venmo sometimes to settle up in a restaurant. You use all sorts of different ways, barcodes, etc., to get that cash, to get that electronic payment from one place to the other. You're whipping out those credit cards like it's going out of style. And all of this is contributing to the transition to a cashless society. And the implications are enormous when every single transaction is going through a bank, going through this company, going through that company. The effects on the economy are profound, and right now we don't have a whole lot of precedent, but it seems like we're getting to the point where we're actually using payment systems that could allow us to document and record and identify and measure what we're doing, who we're paying, how much is going out, how much is coming in, more accurately than we ever had before. So the good news is, if you want to track your expenses, if you want to see what you're spending money on, if you want to see how much you have left over for savings and investing or something like this, there's no better time in history than now to take a look at how much money is coming in versus how much is going out, and what do I actually have left, okay? The bad news is that the credit card companies are making more money than ever before. if you take a look at the discount fees and the settlement fees and the batch fees and the different fees that the credit card companies impose on businesses, that implies that those guys are making a lot of money processing these transactions as compared to we always have to think about the value that we're getting out of letting someone process those transactions. So as we make this transition to a cashless society, we just have to keep in mind that there's going to be more accountability. There's going to be more taxing agencies and authorities like the IRS, et cetera, who are going to be trying to get in the middle of this transferring of money back and forth. The payment networks are monitored by 900 different agencies, and everyone wants to know who's buying what, who's selling what, and where the money is going and all that. And so we have to be careful that we keep in mind that as we make the transition from a cashless, from a society where everything was handled for the most part with actual currency to one where it's cashless, there's going to be some hiccups along the way. And this is really telling, mainly because for a long time we had to use the dollars. We had to use the 5s and 10s and the 20s and the 50s or whatever, and that, I think that's cumbersome. I think that's old and antiquated, and it served a good purpose for a long time, but now not so much. So and right now, see, you guys, we're looking at digital payment systems. We're looking at digital currencies. We're looking at certain things like Bitcoin, and that implies that we are going to be using alternative forms of cash. In addition to the credit card, you thought the credit card was a revolution, but Bitcoin is a major revolution. If we start using more Bitcoin-based transactions, that means that we'll probably get more value out of our transactions, out of our currency, the Bitcoin currency. Mainly because the Federal Reserve central bankers aren't going to be printing out incessantly additional monies for wars and such, because you don't do that with the Bitcoin. That's not the way it works, and that doesn't happen. It won't happen with the Bitcoin. So virtual currencies and such are going to make it very, very difficult to cause the amount of dilution that you get when you have fiat currencies like the dollar. So going into a cashless society, it's going to be a very, very interesting phenomenon going on, and it's happening right now. A lot of business owners actually are talking about how they didn't think that it was going to be that easy. So your business owners may want to try it out. Try and require that more and more of your customers use electronic payments as much as possible. Okay, there's been certain business owners who thought it's going to be a major disruption if they're not taking cash, but they're finding out that the customers are ready. The customers open up their electronic wallets. The customers use the credit cards. The customers use barcodes and scanning. I've been loading a certain amount of money onto gift cards, which in turn allow me to go to Walmart, allow me to go to Target, allow me to go to Whole Foods, allow me to go to Amazon and shop using those gift cards by preloading them with money, and then I go to the various retailers and such and use that form of payment. So I'm just basically walking through a line, showing a barcode, having someone scan it, and then I'm out of there. Okay, so this is very, very interesting, because then in the future I could see a lot of us using something like Bitcoin where it goes, it goes up in value, and then at certain times, you feel like I got more money, right? Because it goes up in value, unlike the dollar. Anyway, the Bitcoin goes up in dollar, for instance, and then you load a certain amount of that money onto your cards, and you go and you make your transactions at the Targets and the Walmarts and the Whole Foods and the Amazons, and it doesn't feel like it's a major hit to your wallet, okay? Because again, if you have the appreciation, or at least preserve that value, and Bitcoin is becoming less and less volatile. So this is not the Bitcoin show, but I just want to let you guys know that's one of the things that's affecting the economy. Now, another thing is this stupid ban on immigrants. We have to be very, very careful because in my 20 years of running my business, I know that a lot of activity that happens in the world, as far as business are concerned, a lot of it happens outside the United States. The Coca-Colas, the McDonald's, the IBMs, the Microsoft, Apples. You talk about sales activity, sales are 80% generated outside the United States for the most part. So we can't take for granted the interconnectedness of the planet. In other words, if you want to create a protectionist environment whereby you have an abundance of industries inside the United States that have all these protections against the competition from outside, what happens is your companies get lazy inside the country where you're protecting them, right? They get lazy. They know they got a certain amount of market share. They know they have a certain amount of a minimum number of sales or revenues that they're going to generate every year because this is protected. This is almost mandated by government. So we got to be very, very careful. We don't want to create an environment where our technology companies and such are getting lazy in terms of not competing, not putting money and resources into innovation and productivity. We want to do the opposite. We want to encourage these guys to wake up in the morning and be fearful. We want our companies to be fearful that there's going to be competition. Someone else is going to try to take the food out of their mouths, so to speak. So, and see, immigrants, they come into the United States. Steve Jobs' biological father, is what I'm told, is a Syrian. A lot of the people, Satya Nadella, who runs Microsoft, he's from India. A lot of the immigrants that come into the United States, they're hungry, they're ambitious, they're determined. And guess what? They fight to survive. Even after they get here, even after they've been here, they're hungry. They want to make things happen. They want to improve their situations. Unfortunately, a lot of Americans, Americans get fat, dumb, and lazy in the and they could care less about being as ambitious, as determined, as aggressive when it comes to making things happen. Whether it's working for someone or working for themselves, Americans are taking things for granted. Is what I find for the most part. So yeah, when it comes to immigration, I'm very, very concerned about us not getting the scientists, the engineers, the ambitious and determined people who are going to come in here with that hungry attitude. Because if you come from a country where there's a lot of government and economic oppression and you can't really do anything and you're starving, then you come here and you see all this opportunity. You're motivated. You want to get more of that reward for your hard-earned labor, as compared to a lot of Americans who are, again, they look at the government programs where you get the welfares, you get the government assistance and all that, and you don't really think about getting out of that cycle of dependence on the government. Okay, so anyway, that's my 2 cents on immigration for right now, in terms of the implications of what that may mean. Now, what else do we want to cover? As far as how the outlook is shaping up over the near term, companies got to be aware, got to be very cautious about economic stimulus bringing up, how do I say this? Over the short term, Americans' savings rate and investing rate is still very, very low. So that's not going to provide a major impetus to business activity or economic activity picking up over the short term. Again, maybe I don't know. I'm kind of pessimistic in terms of what the Americans can do themselves. A lot of people are still devastated from the last recession / depression over the last 8 to 10 years, for instance, and they never really recovered. Still trying to build up, to the point where they feel more comfortable spending. But even beyond spending, see, a lot of Americans don't realize it. But you have to put a lot more emphasis on savings and investing, so that way when these economic cycles come, where things are very, very tough and the economy is going through a tailspin, you have to have the financial wherewithal to survive that. And you can't survive that if you just spend every dime you get when things pick up. So, unfortunately, until the savings rate and investing rate picks up substantially in the United States, we're not going to have a sustained period of growth that lasts very long. Again, because consumers typically give back every single dime to the retailers and merchants, and they put it right back. They give it right back out as soon as they get it in. So I'm looking through some of the Wall Street Journal's headlines right now, and I just want to see if there's anything that reminds me of where we are with the economy that I could touch on. Stock market has been going very, very high. We breached the 20,000 mark, so that means that the Dow Jones Industrial Averages are above 20,000, which is good news for people who have stocks. That really doesn't tell the full story. Not every American is in the stock market. Not every American owns corporate shares, for instance. So I think there's a smaller group of people than anyone wants to admit that are actually taking advantage of the increase in stock prices. So that is not going to create the major wealth effect. I don't think that it really should. If more Americans were invested, then that would be different. But right now, I don't think everyone's going to be benefiting from the increase in stock prices. What else? Tax plans. Oh yeah, let me see. What is it? Tax plans. Trump's plan to preserve millions for his. Small businesses may have to pay a border tax. Well, a lot of businesses may have to pay a border tax. Trump is trying to do a border tax, okay? The implications for small businesses could be huge, okay? We small businesses cannot afford to just up and build manufacturing facilities within the United States. A lot of times we have to import. Because the cost of labor is cheaper outside the United States, we have to import our products into the United States. And if that costs us more money because of some border tax, and that means that either we're going to close down or we're going to not bring those cheaper products into the United States. And since we can't afford manufacturing facilities anytime soon, guess what? There's going to be less choices. So you guys are going to be forced to go to Walmart. You're going to go to Target. You're going to go to Amazon. And you're going to have less choices, not more choices. So that is probably going to, as far as I can tell, that's going to be bad news unless they make exemptions. Unless I'm making $500,000 or $2 million or $5 million, some sort of minimum level is what I need to be exempted for, so that I actually get a chance to thrive and survive. Small business like mine, we're prevalent, we're dominant. We produce 80% of the jobs, if not 90%, are coming from small businesses with 25 employees or something. So that's going to be a major, major thing to take a look at and to handle very delicately, because again, we have to import products, okay? And we cannot afford to establish manufacturing right away. So we need to have an exemption. So we need to keep a look at that. Keep our eyes on that border tax. That has to be handled very, very delicately. Let me see if there's anything else. I want to see if there's anything else that could be affecting the economy, at least over the short term. Okay, I don't really see anything outstanding right now. Central bankers are still perplexed. A lot of them are realizing that the currency, the fiat-based system, is imploding and falling apart. So that's not going to change anytime soon. More and more of them are trying to take a look at blockchain technologies, and they're even making more and more. They're having more and more conversations based upon alternative currencies and such. Certain central bankers, I think, are trying to come up with their own digital currencies. But who wants a Federal Reserve backed digital currency? We already know how they destroy everything they get their hands on. So I think that's pretty much it for the economy, stupid. Okay, I can't think of anything really outstanding. Major shipping companies out there are the companies who bring in the goods from outside the United States are still filing for bankruptcy and still struggling and still consolidating. So you're going to have more and more weak companies combined into larger shipping and container companies. So that means there's going to be less choice out there or less competition to drive down prices. Prices go up when there's less competition. So that's going to be a major issue if we see more and more consolidation in the shipping and container industries out there. Sorry for all the pessimistic news, but it's the economy, stupid, and we have to realize that certain things you have control over, certain things you don't. So we're going to have to be more and more innovative. We're going to have to do more and more to stand out in the crowd as small businesses or even medium and large size businesses. When things get tough, you hunker down and you try to figure out what is your niche, what is your strength, what is your weaknesses, and work on them. And when things are good, put away your working capital. Invest in research, invest in development, invest in those good ideas and goals and objectives that you've been putting off. Okay, so go back to the notes that you put on your computer, wherever you put them. Go back and review them. See, and when good times come, go back and review. Keep an eye on your objectives. Keep an eye on your goals and see if you can accomplish some of the things. Get them off of the list and get them executed. Execute on these ideas and move forward. Okay. So anyway, this is the Economy Stupid, episode number 11, and we want to say thanks for sharing, thanks for attending, thanks for listening, and we appreciate when you guys attend these sessions and share it with a friend, enemy, relative, associate. We don't care who you share it with. Share it with someone, and let's get the word out and see if we can make the world not only safer but more prosperous place for each and every one of us. Okay, thanks. Take care. Bye.